We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. Malacanang assures aid to quake-affected residents in Abra and Ilocos. In an interview, President Ferdinand R. Marcos said he has been monitoring the situation in northern Luzon provinces following the 6.4 magnitude quake in Abra, Ilocos Norte, and Ilocos Sur. He assures there is enough food and shelter for the affected residents and that electricity supply has already been restored in Ilocos Norte and Ilocos Sur. In a Twitter post, Marcos said the national government remains in coordination with the Department of Social Welfare and Development for relief, Department of Energy for outages, and the Department of the Interior and Local Government for monitoring. He also advised residents to keep out of tall structures. As of 10 a.m., the strong quake has so far generated 409 aftershocks. Of the number, at least 81 were plotted or located and 5 were felt.
In Ilocos Norte, the power has come back. Ilocos Sur, the power has come back. I'm waiting for the report from Abra, but I think parts, the last I heard, the parts of Abra province already have power restored. So we have sent ang hinihingi ng karamihan ay tent. And the reason why is ayaw nilang natatakot silang bumalik sa bahay nila. Baka pag mag-aftershock, tapos mahina na yung bahay nila, masaktan sila. So that we're monitoring that we do not have a critical problem when it comes to food, maybe shelter. That is the most important part of the relief that we have to provide now for the people affected by the earthquake last night.
President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos orders a thorough investigation over the killing of broadcaster Percy Mabasa, also known as Percy Lapid. In an interview, Marcos raised doubts on the death of inmate June Villamor, tagged as middleman in the Percy Lapid slay, saying he is not convinced that he died of natural causes. In his autopsy report, the National Bureau of Investigation said Villamor did not sustain any external physical injuries but a hemorrhage in his heart. Marcos said there are causes of death that may not be seen in a medical legal report.
The toxicology report came back and mukha talagang walang lason o walang gamot na binigay dun sa namatay. But I am still not satisfied that it was natural causes. So sabi ko, tignan niyo yun na mabuti because there are ways to kill a person that do not show up.
Marcos stressed the need to find the mastermind and determine the reason for Lapid's killing, noting that Villamor died on the day that self-confessed gunman Joel Escorial surrendered and identified him as middleman in the killing.
The police know what to do. I'll just get in the way. Alam ko, imbestigahan niyo na mabuti. Alamin natin na mabuti kung sinong behind this. Hanggang ngayon, di pa tayo nakakasiguro. So we're investigating.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos has named lawyer Jose Arturo Tugade as acting head of the Manila International Airport Authority. Tugade replaces MIAA's acting head Cesar Chong. As acting chief, he will also serve as a member of the MIAA's Board of Directors. Tugade is the son of former Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade, who served under the Duterte administration. Meanwhile, Marcos defended the appointment of retired Philippine National Police Chief Camilo Cascolan as undersecretary of the Department of Health. Marcos explained Cascolan will look at the functions and structural changes needed in the DOH in line with the administration's proposed right-sizing. On filmmaker Paul Soriano's appointment as presidential advisor for creative communications, Marcos said that this is to help his administration promote the country's creative industry.
Si General Cascolan, we put him there because he has to look at Hindi naman siya, of course, he's not a doctor, and it's not health issues that he has to look at. That's why he doesn't have to be a doctor. He's going to look at the function of the DOH. We talk about right sizing, we talk about structural changes. Yun, we need somebody to examine what has been going on, ano yung maganda, ano yung hindi maganda, ano yung pwedeng mas maayos, that will be his function, kaya special concerns.
In our news overseas, Pope Francis led leaders of the world religions in an appeal to politicians to prevent the threat of a nuclear war over Ukraine. The Pope made his appeal at the closing ceremony of the three-day conference organized by the San Egidio Community, a worldwide peace and charity group at Rome's Colosseum. The conference was opened on Sunday by French President Emmanuel Macron and Italian President Sergio Mattarella. In his address, Pope Francis decried the bleak happenings in the world, especially the possibility of the use of nuclear weapons in Ukraine. He also recalled how Pope John XXIII delivered a message to the leaders of the time on October 25, 1962, at the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis. He compared the nuclear threat to the use of atomic weapons to destroy Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan during World War II. The meeting's final appeal, read by a Syrian refugee, called for the banning of the production of nuclear weapons. And that is the latest and the biggest stories from the PNA Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We are also shown on the social media pages of the Office of the Press Secretary and Radio Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more news updates. I am William Theo. We tell stories that inspire change.